15-year-old Maddie Harvey's love of music started when her grandpa bought her a ukulele a few years ago.
A year or two later, I saved up the money to buy my acoustic guitar, and I started learning that. That was a lot harder.
Maddie enjoys jam sessions with her friends from the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps at San Marcos High School.
Ready, set, up, run.
It's there that Maddie has found her tribe.
I joined JROTC, and that, the first day I went into my flight, I was like, okay, yeah, these are gonna be my people.
Maddie has done well in the program, and her instructor, Mark McLeod, says she's set to take on a leadership role with the class next year.
She comes in with energy. She puts her drive into it. She doesn't take no for an answer.
3, 2, 1.
The road to get here hasn't been easy. Maddie struggled with her mental health over the years. Her parents, Cindy and Steve Harvey, found out she had a sensory processing disorder at 5 years old.
She'd get so upset at a teacher, for example, wearing high heels. That clicking sound would drive her, crazy, and she'd, have to be excused from class, and then she'd be outside beating her head off a brick wall trying to, create any other sound besides those, high heels on the floor. So, and that was really kind of at the worst of it.
A CDC report from earlier this year says mental health among students is getting worse. In 2021, 22% of high school students reported considering suicide, and about 40% reported persistent sadness. Maddie's parents first sent her to a residential treatment center when she was in 4th grade. She ended up going 3 different times.
We were really worried about the self-harm issues, and a few trips to the hospital too. And that's when we're like, okay, we need more care.
That was tough. As a parent, you don't want to, give your child to anybody else to care for. But again, we did not have the tools necessary to get her to where she is right now.
Residential treatment is a higher level of care that sees kids staying for days, weeks, or even months at a time. At the San Diego Center for Children, it involves everything from psychiatry to counseling and therapeutic activities. CEO Moises Baron says it's a key part of care, especially for kids who may be going to the emergency room for mental health reasons.
We know that when we can provide the appropriate level of care, we're able to respond, provide what the youth and the family needs, and hopefully prevent this kind of revolving door from continuing, or a problem that could be addressed becoming more serious.
Baran says there's a gap in the system. While residential treatment is available for kids who have private insurance, referrals from schools are in the foster system, on probation, and those with welfare services, it's not available for kids who have Medi-Cal. That's the state's health plan, largely serving low-income residents.
If the child is in the hospital or in the emergency department, and the staff knows that this kid needs a high level of care, but they have Medi-Cal, that's not an option. That's not an option, and that's what needs to change.
What's changing that is a result of Assembly Bill 2317. It was signed into law last year, and it creates a new license category that will allow psychiatric residential treatment facilities to serve everyone, including kids with Medi-Cal.
We have story after story after story of success, and families that tell us, if it hadn't been for this level of care, I don't know what would have happened to my child. We want families with Medi-Cal to be able to tell the same stories.
Maddie's most recent time in residential treatment was a 7th-month stay at the San Diego Center for Children. She says there, everything turned around.
I understood why this time it was the self-harm thing, and I needed to get more serious help because what was happening wasn't going to work. And then I met some really great counselors and staff, and that also deal with the same things that I deal with and have similar stories as me, and we clicked immediately.
Maddie's parents say the residential treatment has been life-changing.
That's just it, though. Without the insurance that we had, or have the time, there's no way.
No.
She would have been in and out of hospitals every other weekend, probably.
Now, since she's out of the center, she has a good head on her shoulders and has her coping skills. It's more fun and relaxed now than what it was. It's not as eggshells. It's nice.
The future is bright for Maddie. At 15, she's looking forward to getting her first job soon and getting behind the wheel.
I can get my permit in October, and I'm so excited.
Maddie says when she grows up, she wants a job that can help people. She isn't ruling out one day working at a place like the San Diego Center for Children.
Knowing that I've been there and knowing how much the center has helped people, and I know the center will still be running by the time I'm an adult. Considering how much they've helped me and other kids, I know it'll still be running. Wait, are you getting the sound right now? Oh, don't get the sound right now.
Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.